My bad, y'all. I apologize. I'm in an Uber right now. And by Uber, I mean my family member. They had to stop really hard because a duck just was like walking across the street like, hey, it's my world. Y'all just in it. Which is very true. You know, we made the land, you know, we took over nature's land, so I can't be mad at the duck. But anyway, y'all, what was I saying? So we talked about how CERN was shut off in 2012, and they just recently shut it off, and people are experiencing spiritual awakenings. They're experiencing I like to say character exposure, okay? And that happened in 2020. Let's talk about that. So for me, character exposure is when, you know, things have been going a certain way and you think a person is a certain way and something happens that is so crazy out of the way that just changes how that person not only behaves but how you see them and how they start moving. For me, the vid was definitely that. Quarantine was definitely that. Quarantine let me know who really cared about my family for real and who didn't. And I use this as an example. So I am a hairdresser. I have been a hairdresser for the last 20 years. I have certain clients that have been with me for close to that. So we're very much like family. And now I know it's business, but some of them, you know, I've been invited to weddings or doing hair for weddings and baby showers, and you know, been invited to their kids' graduation and you know, birthday parties, all that type of stuff. So during COVID, I had a lot of my longtime clients because they know that I have certain medical issues, like I have diabetes, I have asthma, and during the time of quarantine, you know, we didn't know what was going on, so we had to be very, very careful. Everybody was in the house. So I had a lot of clients that checked on me to see if I was okay. But I also had clients that was like, hey, come to the crib and cut my hair, you know, I give you $100 tip. And I'm thinking to myself, like, everybody's locked down in the house. We're on lockdown. What are you talking about? You need a haircut. And they were very aware. Like I said, if you know me for any length of time, you know that I have asthma. Especially during the vid, it became apparent who had what, right? Because if you depend on if you had certain ailments, you had to move a certain way. All right, cool. So I had one client that, I mean, ride or die, down with me for the longest time, okay? Do you know that this client hit me up and was like, hey, come cut me and my family's hair. I mean, you could do it. It's no big deal. I'll pay you extra. Excuse me, sir? Excuse me, sir? We're in quarantine. Ain't nobody going nowhere. What you need a haircut for? Who you trying to be cute for? If your wife don't like you now, she ain't gonna like you tomorrow. Like, I just couldn't understand why he would think to do that. It was very, very selfish in that moment. And also, my kids are asthmatic. So it's like, you know, my mother's asthmatic, you know, like, not to put business out there, but I have family members that have asthma. We'll just say that. And for him to just very, you know, comfortably ask me to come to his house to cut him and his family's hair while we're on lockdown, that was character exposure. I feel like the vid definitely exposed who people really are. And I say that because it wasn't just the vid. And when I say the vid, it's that C19. You know, you got to be careful on over here on the two with you on what you say. But it was just like people were showing who they really are. You know, people that were, you know, on some racist type stuff, not to get political, they were showing who they really are. And this is my thing. We can agree to disagree. We can have different beliefs and still respect each other. But like, for you to just spew hate and ugliness, that doesn't rock with me, because that's not what I put out into the world. So that's definitely not what I want to receive. I had so many people that I knew that were on Facebook, Instagram, any of the social medias. And when I say I knew, I mean I know them outside of social media. I know them personally. That they were just, people. Everybody was at home, just, everybody was a podcaster during the vid. Everybody was feelings during the vid, right? And their views, their opinions. Everybody had a TED Talk during C19 on some form of social media, and in doing that, it really let me know who people are. It really let me know what was really going on, because they were just free, just saying whatever came to mind. And it's like, yo, I didn't know you felt that way. So now I know how you feel about me. And that goes to like the stuff that was racist or whatever. There were clients of mine that I've had for years, and yes, I just cut your hair. But if it's or not, I don't need to cut nothing. All money ain't good money. So a lot of people during that time, I unfollowed, I blocked, I unfriended, and then finally I just kind of started shying away from doing their hair when they would come into the shop, because I don't think they remember that we were friends on these apps or following each other or whatever. Either they didn't know or they didn't care. I don't know. But the things they were saying let me know, oh, wow, this is how you really feel about me as a person. Because this is my thing. If you say something about a certain race of people, I am a black woman, okay? Then you're talking about me too. It's not one of those things where you could say hateful things and then, oh, well, not you. I didn't mean you. No, you're talking about me too. So I really had to pay attention to that. So that was what I called it, the character exposure era. Because everybody was trying to be the main character, right? Everybody during the vid was trying to do a TED Talk, a podcast, or whatever. And, it became where it really showed people's true color. So to me, that wasn't the main character era. That was character exposure. Anyway, guys, I am almost to said destination where I got to get to work. So I will contact you later. All right. Peace and blessings, y'all.